Peace and love, family. Shalom, shalom. Paris Christian Armani here, and I just wanted to do one last video on the Monique versus Netflix situation because I feel that I have the moral and social obligation to use my platform to for the good of my people. I feel that I was given a voice that I wasn't expected to have over these last 24 hours, where I had a video that received over 1,000 views, and it did receive lots of engagement. And I was not taking my platform serious up until now, and it really caused me to have to go within and do a little soul searching and to come back more authentically with my platform and with my voice. And I just wanted to say that after watching an interview with Monique, it was very powerful, very moving. She did bring up a lot of valid points about the way black women are underpaid in this country, and not only in her niche, this is across the board. And even though I may not be a comedian, we may not share the same niche. Here's a woman who is at the top of her niche, who's being offered a very low amount of money in comparison to what her white counterparts and her male counterparts were being offered for the same project, right? So what comes to mind is a couple of things. First thing that comes to mind is an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. I believe that was Dr. Martin Luther King. So that's a very powerful quote to me. I don't just say that just because it sounds good, but I truly believe this. You know, I feel that I would want to have the same equal opportunity to ball as hard as I want to, as hard as I can, to play full out, and whatever my niche is, right? And expect to be able to be compensated the same amount of my co-workers or my counterparts, right? And I choose to be in the field of entrepreneurship, for one. So I don't think that I'm going to run into issues with ceilings, where I'm going to hit a ceiling as far as financially how much money I can make. There comes a point when, you know, we have to stick together as a people. Being a conscious, I don't like the word black, but for the sake of continuity, being a conscious black woman, Hebrew Israelite is how I identify myself, I feel that, you know, we have an obligation, the moral obligation to stick together. I understand that Lisa Wanda Sykes was also offered $250,000 for a Netflix project, and here's a white woman who's being offered $12 million. And they didn't even want to negotiate with Monique when her husband went in and asked the very valid questions. See, what Monique is doing is she's opening the dialogue with this elephant in the room, this conversation that nobody wants to talk about. And I get it, Monique. I would do the exact same thing if I were in your shoes. Otherwise, how could you go on and like sleep at night? I saw that, you know, I could hear and feel your energy and your interview when you were saying if you were to accept that low amount of money, what does that leave for Tiffany Haddish? Excuse me if I'm mispronouncing her name, but a very new up-and-coming black female comedian actress, right? You know, because you would be setting the bar low, right, for how far a black comedian could go, you know, compensation-wise. And I respect what you're doing. It does take a lot of courage, and it's like we don't have to sit back and boycott. I understand people are like, well, I'm not boycotting Netflix, and it doesn't affect me, and blah blah blah. And Monique got blackballed, and she's loud, and blah blah blah. Yeah, I get all that, right? But you know, what else comes to mind is the words of Dr. I think her name is Cress Welding, where she says, if you want to have a stronger marriage, a better friendship, a better relationship, turn the focus to white supremacy. Because see, that's the true problem, right? And when we shift our focus on what the true problem is, it brings us together in a bond of unity, and what I call, what's referred to in the Dead Sea Scrolls as the spirit of YAHAD, which is Hebrew unity. And I think that there is something very powerful and mighty about YAHAD, standing together in unity, Hebrew unity. and that's just a term for, black, I guess, so I do embrace Pan-Africanism now, by the way. I don't believe that, we should allow our religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs to keep us divided. And again, the words of Dr. Cress Welding, Francis Cress Welding, turn your attention to white supremacy, and that will make our relationship, our bond, our unity, it will make that stronger. And it gives me goosebumps, like chills, to think about it, because by Monique rejecting that low amount, it's like they know that they can't get away with giving it, paying the next, female comedian, actress, or whatever, a low amount like that, because she has set the bar. She has said no. And if another actress were to come along and accept the $500,000, that would be such a slap in the face. Maybe, provided that, and that's the whole argument. Monique's a legend for what she does, for her niche. She's had this whole sort of Martin Lawrence career for the female version of it. She's the only one, or in the top 3. She put it. Very good interview, by the way, on I think it was the Sways show. You guys might want to check out. I will leave the link to the interview that I'm talking about in this video that I'm posting right here. And yes, the Sways interview. Guys, definitely want to check that interview out. Monique raised a lot of valid points. And when you're part of the conscious community, we have a moral obligation to stand behind our brothers and sisters on issues that, it's not a big deal, right, if we don't boycott Netflix, but it's like, when you're conscious and when you hate white supremacy more than you love the bullshit entertainment that you get from, your $14.99 a month Netflix subscription or whatever, when you hate white supremacy more than you want to hate on your brother or your sister because maybe they have a little bit more fame, a little bit more money than you, when you turn your awareness and your focus and everything towards white supremacy, that's when the spirit of unity, spirit of Hebrew unity, Hebrew love, the word is YAHAD. That's how we fight white supremacy, in the spirit of YAHAD, in the spirit of brotherly and sisterly love, Hebrew love. So that's my thoughts. I did take the other video down because I did not do my research before I posted it, and I do take my platform very serious. At this point, it is my moral and social obligation as a conscious woman to make sure that I don't misrepresent any of our brothers and sisters in this movement who are taking a stand for what's right. And the only way that we can fight back, like Malcolm X says, is the loss of life or the loss of finances, one of the two. So, nobody's going out on any killing sprees the last time I checked, right? So let's just, hit them where it hurts. Hit them in the pockets. Sometimes boycotting is all that we can do. And if it was you, a lot of times you don't care until it happens to you, till it's on your front doorstep. But we've got to, those who are part of this conscious movement, we've got to stand up. We've got to come together. We got to get behind Monique on this thing. And it's bigger than Monique. It's the gender biased issue, the pay, with the inequality for black women. This affects us, right, as a whole, right? Because an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. So if you don't like it, if you hate white supremacy as much as I hate white supremacy, you will boycott Netflix, okay? Netflix, do the right thing. Don't even think about insulting any of our queens with a fraction of compensation that you would give to someone else who is in the same, and truth be told, Monique is actually the legend. I don't know if this Amy Schumer woman has a name for herself as being a legend, because I didn't even know who she was. I had to go Google her. But you know, do the right thing. And I'm curious what you guys' thoughts are. Will you guys be boycotting Netflix, or do you guys just feel like it doesn't affect you? Love to hear from you guys. All right, I'll see you on the next inspirational video. Shalom, shalom. Love you guys.